Hello everyone, and welcome to this film, How to Be Physically Intelligent. My name is Claire Dale. I'm the founder and a director at Companies in Motion. I'm a dancer, an author, a wife, a mother, an executive coach, and also a physical intelligence trainer. This means that me and my team work all over the world, helping people to become happier, more motivated, more productive, and able to live out and really believe in their dreams. Now, our book, Physical Intelligence, has recently been named one of the top 5 books supporting mental health in the workplace here in the UK. And it's also been translated into multiple languages, so we're excited about that too. So how do we become more physically intelligent? In fact, what is physical intelligence? Well, right now, there are hundreds of chemicals, neurotransmitters and hormones racing through all of our bodies and brains in our nervous systems and bloodstreams. And those chemicals largely dictate how we think, feel, speak, and behave. Yet most of us operate at the mercy of those chemicals, experiencing thoughts, emotions, reactions without realizing that we can actively and strategically influence them. How? Well, using specific movements, breathing patterns, thought processes, and visualizations. And if we start to work with those things, those aspects that we have, those tools that we have at our disposal, then we can start to live out our dreams and believe that we're someone that can fulfill our full potential. Maybe you're someone that's not fully living your dreams at the moment, and physical intelligence can help. Perhaps you're someone who is not using their full voice or their unique voice or sharing their opinions in the world as strongly as they might like to create positive change, in which case physical intelligence can help. So wherever you want to make an impact, wherever you want to improve your interaction with the world and how you realize yourself, physical intelligence is a necessary component. Now, it starts with our inner awareness, the awareness of our inner state. So wherever you are right now, close your eyes and how aware can you be right now of the pace of your heart beating? Can you feel the movement of your breath entering and leaving your body? Can you feel the shape of your spine and how you're holding yourself and your spine today? And can you capture the essence of your current mood? And what's creating that mood today? And as you take a few seconds to think about, experience each of those questions, you'll become more present, more aware of your bodies, the inner state of your body. And this means that you're not at the mercy of that chemistry. It means that this inner state is not a default that's just happening to you. It's something that you're influencing, choosing, and creating. And this is also very important if we're someone who has worked hard on the external look of the body, nice and toned and fit, but actually feeling a little bit unhappy inside. So to become more physically intelligent and to raise our awareness and use that awareness, we need to develop 4 elements: strength, flexibility, resilience, and endurance. So strength is not muscle strength in that sense, it's inner strength, confidence, risk tolerance, the ability to to operate through life without feeling threatened or without threatening others. Flexibility is our ability to adapt to changing circumstances and to be creative and collaborative through our lives. Resilience is our ability to bounce back better from whatever life is throwing at us, to be able to regain optimism and apply a learning mindset to everything that happens. And then finally, endurance is about staying power and stamina, persistence, planning, perseverance towards those longer term goals. And today, where we're going to start with, this will be a series of 3 films, but today we're looking specifically at strength and the fundamentals of strength. And you won't be surprised to hear that that posture and breath work are right at the foundations of our inner strength. That's where we'll start, and then we'll do a 3rd technique today, which is called your eye. So, posture. People who use open, expansive body posture will, this is proven by research, will step forward in a crisis and lead people to safety naturally over and above people that were previously assigned a leadership role. So open and expansive posture, regardless of what your body looks like, but if you're thinking openly and expansively about the way you're using your body, then this will have a big influence on how you behave. And of course, your confidence levels. So that principle, let's have a go at that together. And the chemistry that we're working on here is to boost our chemistry of confidence, which is testosterone. We all need, men and women all need testosterone to be risk tolerant and confident. We all need to keep cortisol, the stress chemical, at an optimal level, not rising high and making us anxious or worried or feeling threatened or threatening others. And then the 3rd chemical for our strength is going to be dopamine, and we'll come back to that later on when we create our eye. But what we're doing now really is working on testosterone levels and cortisol levels. And actually, dopamine really does come in and boost when we do specific, bigger, expansive movements, as I'll show you now. All right, so follow along with me. You may be seated, in which case just move your chair back from your desk and take your arms, put that down, take your arms wide and open, and then get your feet firmly on the ground. Spine is supported. And I want you to just reach out to one side, reaching further than you think you can with one hand. Breathing, stretching, and then come back to the center. And then to the other side, reaching further than you think you can, and then coming back to the center. You might be doing this standing up, reaching, bending one knee, reaching further than you think you can, coming back to the center. And the other side, reaching further than you think you can. Get a good stretch through the ribs here. And then coming back to the center. And a really quick way to get that sense of expansion, but to look neutral and just going about life, is to keep that sense of openness in your mind, in your spine, in your shoulders, whilst you slowly bring your feet and arms back to a neutral position. But still feel as though you're taking up that much space, broad and wide. Then you can think about a string from the center of the top of the head, so right at the back of the skull, a string from the center of the back, the top of the head, lifting you effortlessly up to the ceiling, like you're hanging away from that string. The body's nice and relaxed, you're well grounded, but you've got some suspension. And then imagine the shoulders floating out to touch the sides of the room. And wherever you walk, you can carry that open posture with you. Wherever you sit, you can have that posture with you, being well grounded. You might want to vary how you sit, sometimes sitting back and having your spine supported by the chair, or even using a rolled up towel to support your spine as you work. It's a really lovely position to work in. Sometimes you might be right forward on your chair, upright. So that's posture. Testosterone boosts, cortisol stays optimal. We're exactly where we want it, so we can get our skin in the game, but we're not going to be threatened or anxious or worried. And then every time we put our arms in the air like we just did, you get a boost of dopamine, which combined with the testosterone makes us feel like we're confident enough to win through with whatever endeavour we're involved with. We call it the winner pose. Okay, so some food for thought with your posture. Start to experiment with it every day and find moments when you can integrate it into your everyday life. For example, when you're boiling the kettle in the morning to make a cup of tea, for example, you could take your first winner pose of the day and just stretch out and get that chemical boost. All right, so the second technique that we're going to work on today, a second aspect of your strength, is breath work. Breath is foundational to your management of your nervous system. It's really the best biohack ever to hack into your nervous system to keep you calm, cool-headed under pressure, and give you a lot of cognitive focus. So this technique really helps brain function. Now, the technique I'm going to show you was practiced by South African bankers, so 100 investment bankers in South Africa. They practiced this technique, which is called paced breathing technique, for 20 minutes in the morning and 20 minutes in the evening for 21 days, so 3 weeks. They also had 3 coaching sessions during that time. And through that period, they experienced a 42% reduction in stress symptoms and a 62% improvement in cognitive function on complex decision-making tasks. Wow. So even if you take 10 minutes of your day to do this technique, you will be, you'll be laughing. You'll be getting some of those gains, and go for that 40 minutes if you want those bigger gains. Now, we need our breath to be diaphragmatic. So we need it to come down in the body rather than high in the chest. So the best way to do that is to imagine that you've got weights on your shoulders, on your elbows, and on your wrists. So that as you breathe in and out into the diaphragm, using the diaphragm rather than high in the chest. And that feeling of weightedness through the shoulders, the elbows and the wrists makes it much more difficult to move the chest as much. So what that looks like from side view is that when you breathe in, the abdomen goes out. As you breathe out, and I like to breathe in through my nose and out through my mouth. That's just the way I like to do it. You can use your nose fully, or if that's blocked, if your nose is blocked, then you can breathe out through your mouth. Now, what you do then is you find a regular measured pace that you really like, one that your body feels, it just really suits you at the moment. And that might be, say, for example, counting quietly in the mind, 4 counts in, and perhaps 5 counts out. Now, if that feels uncomfortable, you could go for 4 in, 4 out, if you like that, or 5 in, 6 out, or 3 in, 5 out. It doesn't matter what the ratio is, but you can find it for yourselves. And it's the regular paced ratio that gives us what I'll describe now to you, which is the chemical story of this paced breathing that makes us so much smarter and more emotionally and mentally stable, in fact. So what's happening when you do that? And why don't you carry on with that paced breathing as I describe what's happening here? So those 100 South African investment bankers, what they did was they boosted a vital, natural performance enhancing steroid called DHEA, dehydroepiandrosterone. Now, DHEA is made in the adrenal glands right here. And you can imagine them as tanks, and you want those tanks to be filling up with DHEA every day. It'll get used up a bit as we use our energy, but then we want to fill more and more DHEA in those tanks and have them really topped up all the time. Because, as I said, DHEA gives us mental and emotional stability and these incredible cognitive gains. So paced breathing to boost your DHEA is very, very important. And DHEA, the synthetic version, is a banned substance for Olympic athletes. It is that powerful. So we can make it every day. Go for it. You might want to do 5 minutes in the morning on waking, 5 minutes in the evening before sleep. Or you might want to find 10 minutes to sit down quietly every day. And I really want you to do that. And then as time goes on, stack up the number of minutes that you're doing in the day whilst you're walking, whilst you're cooking the dinner, whilst you're doing your work. So I want you to really raise awareness of that breath pattern now that you know the physiology. Everyone's talking about breathing, right? But now you know why it's so important. And finally, we'll end with a creative visualization called Your Eye. What I'd like you to do for this one is to close your eyes and imagine a capital letter I in your body. The top horizontal goes between the two shoulders. The bottom horizontal goes from hip to hip. And the center of the eye, as you imagine it, is just right through the center of the body. And you can imagine the spine with its curves just hanging from that central axis. So you've got this additional structure in your body that makes you feel that you have more inner strength. Now, this is why we've got our eyes closed, because I want you to let your creative imagination join in now. And see how this goes for you. Some people it takes longer, some people can do this immediately, but keep working for it if it comes a bit more slowly for you. I want you to create your eye, to build it, to design it out of any materials that you like. Whatever your creative imagination throws up, what are you going to make your eye from? What's it made of? See what your mind comes up with. And you can design it in any way you like as well. So how are you going to design your eye? So maybe some ideas are coming up now and you're thinking, oh yeah, I quite like that one. Or maybe you've edited a few that you didn't like. Maybe you took the first one that came up. That's great. Whatever it is, let the picture of that increase in vividness in your mind. That's what I mean. And now I want you to imagine a situation where you would really like to have more inner strength. Imagine yourself walking in or entering in, speaking in that particular situation that you're imagining, and see how you do that with your inner eye giving you inner strength to realize your potential in that moment, to share your opinion, to be who you are. Now, some people like to develop a wardrobe of eyes for many different occasions. We have a top member of the government who has a champagne, an eye made out of champagne glasses, because he's not very good at networking. He's a very clever person, but doesn't love networking. So he puts on his champagne eye. And we got countless or puts in his champagne eye. We've got countless other examples of people who've developed eyes for different circumstances. Some very playful, out of Lego. We've had some wisteria trees, people who want to go back to nature. Whatever your eye was, trust it and use it. When you use your eye, you get a boost of dopamine, which is the chemical for reward, motivation, and focus. And whenever we tap into the visual cortex of the brain, we get a boost of dopamine. When we visualize something, we get a boost of dopamine. And whenever that visualization is more personal, the more personal it is, and we know this from working with athletes and artists who visualize, the more personalized that imagery is, the more potent and powerful it is for you as a high performer. So you have your wardrobe of eyes that bring you dopamine. You have your breath pattern that fills up those tanks with DHEA. And you have your posture technique that boosts your chemistry of confidence, your testosterone, and keeps your cortisol optimal. So no more anxiety and worry, only confidence and motivation for your future. So I'm Claire Dale, Director of Companies in Motion, and this has been the first in 3 films designed to keep you fit and well and motivated through physical intelligence. So I'll see you for the next one, which is all about how to boost your energy levels. Thanks for joining me today.